Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Constable Bento, and thank you for taking the time to watch what I've played. And what I've played is Hotline Miami, a game released almost a year ago actually for the PC and with some time later release for the Mac, Linux, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita. Vita. I can't actually. Hotline Miami is a 2D top-down style action game where the apparent goal is to wear masks, beat the shit out of people, further beat the living shit out of people, use whatever means to beat even more shit out of people, and paint the entirety of each level's living space with the blood of your victims. Not only does that make you an effective bile disruptor, but you also double as an interior decorator. Excuse me, my monocolored friend. Let me help you splash a bit of red on the side of the wall here. Would you like some over there too? Is that too much? Well, you should have said! Set in the town of, well, Miami, the story of Hotline lets you play the role of a man named Jacket. It's funny, because he's wearing a jacket. You are on a mission to literally paint the town red and rid the city of all the bads that inhabit it. You get your basics down from Hobo Hagrid over there, who teaches you the art of Hotline Miami War, which is to, and stop me if you've heard this before, beat the shit out of everyone. You go through a little noir storytelling and you start off in your apartment, which I may add looks a hell of a lot better than mine. You then get a phone call from your jacket phone asking you to take care of certain things for certain people. So, as soon as you're done, you get your package containing your initial mask and you're ready to roll. You head on downstairs and you get into your car, which, if you've noticed, is a DeLorean, which is pretty cool. So, once you make like a tree and get out, you're on your way to your first mass murder. Oh, isn't that sweet? It's like a baby's first steps, but with an axe in hand. As you progress through the game, joyfully tearing your newfound friends a superfluously new behind, you'll go through different shops as sort of your daily routine. This sort of rinse and repeats itself throughout the game, albeit with different encounters, and it kind of feels repetitive at first, but without spoiling too much, it's important in tying the story of the Jackinator himself, and why he's gotta do what he's gotta do, and why this guy's a horse, that guy's a janitor, that guy's a clerk, why this guy is, well, taking a dump actually. Gameplay is ultimately a one-route route that works really well in keeping the game's pace. You'll first get to the location and choose your mask. Initially, you'll start off with your cock, but eventually, as you beat levels and even explore a bit, you'll have your own fine collection. When the level begins, you progress to mass murder everyone in the vicinity, move to the next location and continuously mass murder everyone in that vicinity, and eventually everyone in the vicinity has been mass murdered. Once the entire building, or complex, has been wiped clean, you'll head back to your DeLorean and be greeted by all the flashy text telling you all the ways in which you've scattered someone's brains out. And finally, you're given a grade. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Hello? Hi, Dad. Did you need... What? What do you mean, dishonor the family? So, you essentially go from building to building, redecorating both your fellow human beings' innards and the building walls around you. The actual combat of the game is very easy to It's fairly simple to grasp. Relatively straight. It's just a little Most of the time, you'll end up dying just trying to figure out ways in which you can strategically disembowel someone. Though the game does reward you for taking risks and trying different things and how you use them. Using a wrench, using a hammer, using an axe, throwing the axe, using a pool cube, using half of the pool cube you just used, using a frying pan, using the boiling water that was in the frying pan to begin with, then using the frying pan again. The controls feel really good with trying to rip your foes a new one. Because it's super rushy, it strikes that interesting feeling of where it's okay to be dying this many times, where despite your sudden but inevitable demise, you're back attempting to Zerg rush everyone to death. Graphically speaking, the game has got that retro-style 8-bit flavor, which is pretty damn awesome. From the individual sprites of the characters, the hovering titles letting you know it's gonna get hot and heavy, to the hovering Oz-like heads during dialogue, the game definitely has a color palette that makes you feel like you're in that retro Miami 80s-like feel. Though with certain trips, you may have to adjust your retinas accordingly. What really shines though is the game's soundtrack. Just like that 80s Miami style color palette, you do feel like you're in that Miami style jive. The moment you pick a level, everything just kicks off and the mood just makes you feel like you're in that moment. Really adds to the game's own personal theme and even makes your disemboweling more enjoyable. Overall, I think Hotline Miami is a great game that will keep you on your toes and make you frantically think again and again of how you could, and even should, go about clearing a room full of bad bats. It's a game I easily recommend to people who have never tried it before, and especially with the game's announced sequel coming up, it's definitely something you should consider. As for someone who's already played it before, it's always a fun time burner trying to beat your high scores and even collect all the masks you've missed. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I hope you enjoyed my video.